All right, everybody. It is February 8th, episode 39 of Three Things with Ian. It is going to be a superb owl episode, a Super Bowl extravaganza. I debated this for about 30 seconds, and I said, well, cultural touchstone, big to do in terms of the calendar year. Let's do an episode exclusively on the Super Bowl. So we're going to talk about halftime show, food, commercials, right? Those are the three. That's the triad, the trifecta. So I will say, though, as I am a sports fan, I do actually watch the game. I know a lot of people out there are just eating and watching commercials in the halftime show. All the power to you. I, for one, love the Super Bowl. Go Lions. I would be remiss to not mention that I am picturing the map on Facebook. We've all seen it, where it has the two cities where the game is being played and everyone else in the middle just kind of rooting for an asteroid strike to hit or something to happen, right? So I realize that for two franchises, the Eagles and the Chiefs, is a big deal. For the rest of us, we just want to see either a good game or some chaos. So a good halftime show. It's going to be there, whether you watch it or not. I think what people want to see, they want to see big set pieces, really big on surprises, surprise guests, surprises in terms of anything from wardrobe to the spectacle, the stage, the theatrics. They just want to see something that they don't think they're going to see. A surprise guest is always huge. We've had a lot of those lately. We've had more of the ensemble performances, which I think are great. I think it's hard for one person to kind of command even this stage. So at this point, though, it's kind of also like I look back at the last 30 or 40, and honestly, who at this point hasn't done a show? Like Maroon 5 got a show The Weeknd. There's some deep cuts out there. Here are my top 5 halftime shows with some help from the internet. It seems to be, these are pretty much locked-in picks. Obviously, there's room for debate, but these seem to be really good. Lady Gaga, 2017. Very good reviews. This was maybe, I might not be correct here, this may be like the height of Lady Gaga-ness. I'm not sure, but it had everything. It had the spectacle, it had the lights, the music, the fashion, the makeup, had everything. Shakira and J-Lo was in 2020. They were probably the best duo in terms of just like the two of them. It makes sense they go together, similar-ish heritage and kind of similar movements and music. Great show. 3, Beyonce. There's not a stage that's too big for her. Whether it's the vocals or the dancing, she just commands your attention in a way that I don't think a lot of performers can. Number 2 is only there because we coined a term from the Super Bowl halftime show. Wardrobe malfunction. Janet Jackson, 2004. Quite a few years ago, right? I remember nothing about this performance. I don't think I even watched it. It is here because it is a cultural touchstone. And number 1, the internet seems to agree. So I would be remiss not to include this. Prince. What I was reading about this show in particular was that there were no fancy backdrops, no gimmicks. He was just him and the guitar, and I think the actual stage was in the shape of that undulating, sinuous purple guitar. No extra acts. This is 2007. That doesn't seem right, but that's what I wrote down. We'll have to fact check that. So Prince is the number 1. Notable mentions, Bruce Springsteen got a lot of praise and love. Just because it was a unique sound. He has the saxophone and has more of that musicality to it. And then U2 also made the list because they were the first act to follow 9/11, and they had a very moving rendition. Apparently, it was just a very well-done performance. Halftime show. Snacks. So here's my thoughts on snacks. It's got to be generally volume driven. This is a 4-hour plus game. You're going to need a chip. You're going to need a dip. You're going to need a protein, some fatty meats, some salami, some pepperoni, some cheese, some crackers. Diversity and volume, right, guys? Maybe the first quarter we go for a dip when it's freshest. You got those 7 layers. By the third quarter, it's kind of a brown goop. So you got to hit that early. Tostitos are great. I mean, Tostitos have benefited from football immensely. They're like the underwriter for all things football at this point. I mean, wings are good, but they're messy enough where I'm gonna maybe get that fork and I'm gonna cut them into pieces and eat them kind of the not cool way. Because I don't want thousands of napkins. I don't want that whole mess. In terms of drinking, I mean, this is the time maybe to break out a light beer. This is not a time for a double IPA, 12%er. This is a long game. This is a marathon. I think every quarter you bring out kind of a new snack and you kind of keep it lively. I'm okay to have some carrots and celery in there. I'm okay with one of those fruit trays, especially if it has that very much like cream cheesy middle frosting bit. I'd probably do that first quarter though. I think by the fourth quarter we're probably not going to be going for the peaches and the grapes. So those are my kind of thoughts on snacks. Commercials. All right, number 3 is commercials. Obviously, commercials mean a lot. It's a different game than it was in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. Commercials are more ubiquitous. We see commercials between Candy Crush levels on our cell phone. We see commercials before movies now. We see commercials just everywhere. The stuff that the services that were commercial free have commercials now, right? Prime and Netflix and Hulu, and there's just commercials everywhere. We kind of are oversensitized to it. There's not much you can say about a new car that you haven't already said in some form or fashion. I think that if I'm reading it correctly, it seems like this year is going to be tons of celebrities and cameos, and we're just throwing everything into the pot. I think that back in the day, commercials were kind of more of a novelty, and they definitely are representative of the time and place. I mean, crypto was huge a few years ago. There seems to be themes every couple of years. The crypto theme, thank goodness, that kind of went to the wayside. Half those people probably should be in jail for misleading customers. But the one commercial that I keep going back to is a Budweiser commercial where the premise is a bunch of dudes are telling their wives or girlfriends or whatever that they're fixing something. And most of them are on the roof because they're fixing the antenna or replacing the shingles or whatnot. But one guy decides he's gonna fix the lawnmower. And so you see basically like the Wizard of Oz legs hanging out of this little lawnmower. And at one point the dog is like ripping around the dude's like fake pant legs. So I just thought that one was really clever. I think every year there's one or two that jump out, but there are 50 slots being filled. So one or two is a woefully low percentage. I'm hoping for a good game. I guess to actually plug the sporting event, historically the games have been very lopsided, but I looked at the last 10 years and we've had, especially the last 5 years, maybe the golden age of close games, right? It's that field goal to win it. I don't think we ever had an overtime game. We've had some duds. We've had some 55-10 blowouts. I am giving you no predictions. I am not even going to open up a DraftKings or FanDuel app for this one. I'm hoping it's a close game. I'm hoping that the snacks are good, that the beer is flowing. Just get through the commercials. Just get through them. You can watch half of them now probably, and you can watch the rest of them after if you miss any. So use the bathroom. Don't pause. Don't try to be a completionist. And in terms of the halftime show, I'm not a music guy. I pretend to be one for you guys sometimes. I don't know Kendrick Lamar if he walked down the street, although unlikely to happen. I'm hoping that it goes off without a hitch. I mean, the last time we were in New Orleans, there was that crazy blackout. Hopefully they've changed the circuit breakers and are ready for us. Anyway, have a great Superb Owl weekend, and go team. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.